5 times 8 divided by 2. I ain't gonna lie, I can't even think that fast right now.
You said ask him anything.
Yeah.
Alright.
But that's 20?
Well, I think the book and Street Smart design, it kind of it just represented the team, like the Fly Supply team. Like everybody on the team have street and book sense. And as far as the code, I think in this generation right now, I think there's a lot of issues right now because they don't really follow the code. But I think the code is always going to be the foundation, you know, because that is, to me, it's really just principles, the same principles and integrity. So I guess the game is changing, but the foundation is gonna always be the same. You know what I mean? It's always gonna be flawed to me, you know,
Why'd you say that?
because it'll be flawed to me because it's not going off the same principles. Like there's always simple principles that I would go by, as simple as if we're all in the room right here and we all talking and we've been vibing, and you know, $20 is on the floor. Like I know it's somebody's $20, and I know it's not mine. Like basic principles to me that was taught to me from my parents, and you know, the friends I selected to be around. Like we not gonna steal from each other. You know what I mean? We gonna ask, hey, you just dropped 20, or you just dropped, you just dropped the dub, or you know, it's always gonna be that same vibe. So I think if you get away from them principles, it's green any way you put it. I think people try to change it and make it like, oh well, you know, I don't know who $20 it could have been. It could have been anybody $20, but you didn't ask. You know what I mean? And that's the flaw part about it. So you're going against the principles and integrity. So I don't care how you change it. That's why I say the foundation will always be the same.
Came up with this design. I don't think we ever had like a real particular audience in mind. To be honest with you, when we designed, I don't think we even like think that far into it. We just let our creativity take us. Cause I remember one time I seen this clip with Lil Wayne, and he was at that time was like the biggest artist on earth. And I seen a clip, an interview with him, and it said, "Hey, what are you listening to right now?" And he said, "I don't even listen to music." And I thought to myself, how can the biggest artist on earth not listen to radio, music, nothing? But then I understood that later on because I'm looking at us. And people always ask us, like, where do we get our inspiration from? And then I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? We don't really like look at other people. We just stay in our bubble. We stay in the office and we knock out and we bounce ideas off each other. So when we design, we don't really have a particular artist in mind. Our audience in mind. We just let our creativity run with it.
For booking Street Smarts, I remember when it first came about, G actually one that kind of like coined it, came up with it and stuff like that. It was kind of tough at first to really find something that'll represent that concept, booking Street Smarts. You know what I'm saying? We had a couple different concepts. Finally had one that stuck. The one that did stick was like I heard earlier, like G said earlier, it's about balance. So with that, when you talk about booking Street Smarts, the whole concept behind it is pretty much a Venn diagram. You know, two circles that intersect in the middle. That's the booking Street Smarts. Then you have handwriting that says "me" on there, points to the middle. That's pretty much the whole concept behind it, and that kind of like represents the whole idea of booking Street Smarts. Is that balance and being right in the middle of both.
What advice would you give to the younger kids? You know, just having a conflict between the streets and school.
The advice that I give somebody coming up who having a conflict of choosing between the streets and school is should stay focused on school. Ain't nothing in the streets at all. Like, stay focused on whatever you trying to get is coming. You just gotta just stay at it. When I was younger, me and Garrett, we used to play football. So like, it was hard for me to like focus on school, focus on football, and then on top of that, I always wanted to be fresh. I always wanted to be fly. In order to do that, you gotta have bread. Shit, in my household, it's 5 kids and that shit, so we weren't getting all the J's, all the stuff everybody else was getting. So the only way I could really get it was to try to make a play some way, somehow. So it was hard then, but I found my way through it.
How?
I found my way through it by just staying focused. I had some good people in my life, my coaches, my parents when they could be, my friends' parents, my friends, just, you know, like, and not getting caught. You feel me? Like, I think me having some type of book smart, some type of like wit about myself of what's going on, you know what I'm saying? I think that kind of like helped out with not getting caught. I think like, man, a lot of people like to take shortcuts. You just gotta know what the route is. You feel me?
Did you have like any close calls?
So many close calls. Yeah, I had a lot of close calls. A lot of close calls, a lot of war stories. But
Explain in detail, like one situation. Explain one situation that, you know, that would tell the younger audience that, you know, the streets is no good in the streets. Explain one story.
let me wipe myself off. It wasn't no money back then. Still was money, but it wasn't no money, man. I had like friends that was young as me that was like making big bread, rocking big links, you know what I'm saying, and doing shit that you gotta have bread for. So I was trying to keep up at the time. And one of my homeboys who worked with me was telling me how he was getting bread after work. So me and him started doing the same thing together. One day, shit, we got bored, and he was like, man, let's rock the I'm with it, you feel me? We rocked the I ended up getting shot.